My brakes is fucked up. I'll show y'all what's going on right now. All right, so the other day, right, I'm coming back from the movies. I come to a corner and I have no brakes. Yeah, coming back from the movies, doing 50, I'm cruising. And I come to a corner with no brakes at all. Absolutely pedal straight to the floor. So, you know, clutch in, brake pedal does nothing. So clutch in, I pull the handbrake, slide to a stop with my handbrake. I had to drive home the rest of the 30-minute trip with no brakes. So let it sit for a day. I take it back out, drive it around, you know, nothing crazy, not pushing it. My brakes are fine. So I'm thinking, oh, it was brake fade. I still want to look at the caliper because that wheel had like hella dust on it, hella brake dust. So I know it's locking up. So I'm thinking, okay, my brake locked up, overheated, I got brake fade. So yesterday, I took the caliper apart, you know, cleaned it up, DC'd it, put it back on the car, or the master cylinder and the whole brake system, you know, just in case. Pedal straight to the floor. So I'm going through it, rebleeding everything. There's no air in the system at all. Pedal's still going straight to the floor. So I cut the car on, brake booster sucks in that pedal, almost pulls it to the floor by itself. So I'm thinking, okay, it's my master cylinder. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna, first of all, learn how a master cylinder works. Take it off the car, take it apart. Yeah, figure out why my car has no brakes. All right, so here's my master cylinder. It's a little chopped, but internally everything's clean. Well, actually that's not. Brother, oh, how that shit got in there. New take. All right, I'm gonna do I guess you probably don't know what that is, or what that is, how that works, or why I can have no math, but I'm gonna do a full build breakdown. It looks, you know, chopped, but everything is clean. Lines is, you know, nothing leaking. I let it sit, pump the brakes about 100 times, and I have no leaks. That leak right there, that is power steering fluid. That's no. So I do see some fluid around the master cylinder there, where it links up to the brake booster. May have been dripping down, I don't know. So I want to see what this screw does. All right, we're gonna crack this and see what it does. I got a pan underneath to catch any fluid if it comes out. And I'm planning on replacing this thing anyway. So, you know, if I fuck the system up, fuck the system up. Just wanna see what this does. I'm gonna loosen it like that, and then I'm gonna pump the brake with it. So nothing happened when I pumped the brakes. It's leaving fluid pretty quick. There that is. Whatever that part's called. I have no clue. I'm gonna push on the brakes. Yeah, okay. And it's just got O-rings on it. If it's just O-rings, then I can swap out these O-rings, and I think I'd be fine. I need the number that's on there, just in case I lose it. 2 at the top, and then 97E below it. Put this back in, I think is that way. Put this nut back in there. If it's all O-ring, it's probably not just O-ring. Sprayed it with WD-40, so do a little something. Ooh, okay. There we go. All right, boom. All right, looks like it's rushed welded to the fucking booster. So like I had a solution. I don't have a solution. There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Yo, this is disgusting. Look at that, man.
What's that?
I don't know. To me, it looks like it was leaking fluid into there. Right here, right? So this cap Looks like these two tabs get pushed in so it can't come back out. Maybe this pops off and that back cylinder can come out and I can swap the O-ring on it. So this is the entire piston and spring assembly from the master cylinder. All right, it's day 2 working on this thing. I got the O-rings. Let me flip the camera so you can see it. I got the bolts sitting in there. The gasket that sits between the brake booster and the master cylinder, the gasket was all fucked up. That's that right there. I used gasket maker and I'm letting it sit to get that shape. So hopefully that works. So I got the O-rings replaced. The ones that are inside of this piece here. The ones that were on the spring and piston assembly. O-rings and seals and everything. That's what I'm talking about. That I showed in the picture. Now wait for that RTB to dry. It's like 24 hours. Come back tomorrow and fill the system up, bleed it, and see if it works, you know. I 100% forgot I was filming a video. My fault. But, so I got new cylinder on. I'll go ahead and switch the camera so y'all can see that. New cylinder on. Mine's hooked up. Old cylinder. I tried to get new seals and replace just the seals, but I don't know. I replaced the seals and it was leaking with new seals out the back end of the master cylinder into the brake booster. So my brake booster has brake fluid in it right now. But look here. So I got new brakes. I have it hooked up already. I tried to bench bleed the cylinder. When I do the brakes, just squeeze the calipers closed or open all the way so it pushes the whole fluid like up through the line and hopefully pushes any air out. I don't even know if that's a real thing that'll work, but you know, we'll find out. And if I still have air in the lines, I got a line. I have a ton more than that. I'm gonna run a line from the bleeder all the way up into the top of the brake booster, submersion fluid, and then just pump the brakes so it cycles any air through the line and bubble up. So it'll just be full fluid throughout. Look how them wheels look, bro. So I'm just gonna squeeze that caliper closed with a C-clamp and open. Squeeze it open with the C-clamp. Hopefully it pushes any fluid. Hopefully that pushes any fluid that's in there out the top, out through the brake reservoir. The master cylinder into the reservoir. Air will come out. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's the So that's on. Fluid's in there. Not a lot, but right now, so I'm gonna go get more just in case y'all don't know how to do brakes. Okay, the wheel is off, and if you look, the bolt right here connects to this slider, comes out, and then this will flip up. Mine's stopped and seized, so it's not gonna, but it should. I actually have really fucking decent brake pads on this front rotor. When the fuck did I change the brakes? These are like brand fucking new. Bro. Yeah, that's a brand new brake pad. Huh. All right, so I got the system set up. I got this line connected to this sprayer, and I'm just spraying the fluid back into the brake master cylinder. Hopefully that bleeds in the master cylinder, you know? I gotta figure out what to do for the other side because my line's not long enough. But yeah, it seems like it's working. But it's going from pockets of air to just bubbles. So I'm waiting till those bubbles go away. Push to the side. But yeah, it's my little Dre rig. Self bleed / master cylinder bleed. I don't know, man. I think it's working. All right, so boom. Right, I finished putting the new master cylinder. I don't know where I left off in the last clip, but it's been a few days. I got the new master cylinder on. See right here. Let me explain what's going on. So boom, the master cylinder went bad. Right, the seals on the inside gave out. It wasn't putting any brake pressure to the brakes. It was spraying all the fluid instead of compressing it. It was coming out the back and into my brake booster. Right, so I put the new master cylinder on. I turned the car, on to test the brake booster to see if it'll pull some vacuum and make it a little easier to press. It did make it easier to press. The vacuum was just pulling from atmosphere. My RPMs were like, back this up. The vacuum was pulling from atmosphere. So I had a vacuum leak. It was idling at like 1500 RPM. And the brake booster didn't affect brake pressure at all on the pedal feel, anything. So I took the hose from the brake booster, I pulled it all the way through. Like I took it all out, and when I got down here, where the brake booster tees off to the IACV and the intake manifold for vacuum, I pulled the hose off her. Focus, you bitch. I pulled the hose off, and brake fluid just started pouring out of my IACV. Now I have my IACV unplugged and blocked off. It's fully closed, blocked off with a metal plate in between, blocked off, and I get my idle air from a hole I drilled in my throttle plate. In the summertime, it's like 500, 6, maybe 700 RPM where I was at. Wintertime, it's like 800, 900, which is still fine. I'm cool with either one. It turns over twice and starts right up, regardless of temperature. So hole drilled and throttle plate working for me. IACV is still there. I don't have the block off plate, but it's blocked off internally. So, but yeah, brake fluid all through the hose that comes up here, through that into the brake booster, all through all of that. This was just brake fluid. And I had somebody press the brakes for me while I looked here, and whenever the brakes are pressed, brake fluid just leaks out the bottom of the brake booster. So I have the hose connected up here, so if it pushes any more brake fluid like up and out, it'll just put it, straight to the ground. Maybe it'd be a few drips, but that wouldn't be, Besides that, I'm about to adjust my camber because my handling feels just really weird. My alignment keeps fucking up. But yeah, brake job is done. I gotta cut this off though. I put this here so I tied the hose to it. So I had a hose off the bleeder running to this, tied it off here so it wouldn't come out. So I can bleed the master cylinder while it was on the car. I can cut that off right now actually. And yeah. A little bit of a side note, I wasn't leaking power steering fluid. It was just brake fluid running down my steering column and leaking off of my rack. So power steering is good. I'll go through how I set that up in another video. Brake booster still has brake fluid in it, like a little bit. I hear it sloshing when I press the brakes, but besides that, it's, it's looking good. Brakes are done. It takes a little bit more effort to stop because the brake booster doesn't work. I think it ate through that diaphragm, but yeah. It needs to be washed and polished. I had goats jumping on my shit. Yeah, so next video is going to be a walkthrough of the whole build. I'm going to go through the engine bay, the ECU I built, the wheels, the front end conversion, the second front end conversion, paint, everything. So yeah, that's the next video.